Hello, my friends. Happy Tuesday. I hope you guys are having a good day so far. Let me check to make sure I'm in all the right places. I am. Hello, hello. Hair's a little crazy, but that's all good. This little piece right here, let's fix it. All right, maybe. It doesn't have a home today. The joys of curly hair. Hello, hello, my friends. Welcome in to our, I think this is our first Tuesday Throwdown of 2026. I kind of took a little break last week. I'm easing into the new year, you guys. I'm not ready. Can we have another few weeks to like kind of prepare? I haven't planned all, I like to like brainstorm and plan and kind of get a big picture schedule in place, and none of that happened. So we're just kind of flying by the seat of our pants. So here we go. You'll see I actually got the name changed here on Facebook. Now I just have to change the header and change Instagram and change YouTube, but it's a process. So Craft What Matters, Jen Bach with that's easy for me to say. Jen Bach with Craft What Matters. So excited to be joining you today. It's actually the day before vacation for me, so it's a little bit, the brain's not functioning well. So we've got a few things to get done today before we head north. My husband has a big birthday this weekend, but that's actually not why we're going. We go every year to his family's timeshare up in New Hampshire. So that's where we're headed for the weekend, a long weekend, and super excited. So let's go ahead and get started. I've got a few different things to share with you, and I do want to make some crafty fun. So let's go ahead and switch this around. You'll see a little bit of what's on my table today. See a little sneak peek of some upcoming stuff. Oh, and you know what? I forgot to get a little grid sheet, but that's fine. All right, so let me share a couple of things that I wanted to mention before we get into our crafting. So first off, new product of the month, you guys. This stamp set is super cute. So if you spend $75 this month, you can get this fabulous sayings stamp set. I love the font, for just $5. So the font is really cool. It says, "Happy birthday, you're on my mind. Thank you, hello, sending love. You can do anything. So much, hooray, just because to a fabulous friend." There are simply no words for this. So there's a lot of, like, you can kind of build, thank you so much, you know, hooray, sending love. You know what I mean? You can kind of build and sending love just because, you can kind of make your own sentiments there. So that's a really cool option. So this is the product of the month for January. As far as I know, December is still available too. So if you didn't get the December product of the month, you could get either the True Blue Florals Designer Series paper or the stamp set as your $5 bonus when you spend $75. Plus, when you're shopping this month, if you spend $50, you get $5 back in a voucher to be used next month. So that's super exciting too. Also, registration for the virtual card retreat is still open. It's going to happen January 22nd, 23rd. It will be recorded. It's 2 to 9 p.m. both days. I'm going to share with you at the end of this, if you want to stick around, I have the virtual album retreat kit, and that's all you have to do to get the invite to the virtual event is to buy the kit. It is $165 US, but I'm going to share with you everything that comes in it, and you get to make 15 cards, and these are cards that are going to be kind of stepped up techniques. They're not like super simple. These are going to be A++ worthy cards, but they're also going to teach you some really great techniques and different things to do with your products. So I think that alone is going to be worth the retreat, and some of it's exclusive. So I'll share that with you at the end, so be sure to stay tuned. I am also going to share with you at the end some page kit samples. So I announced at the end of Website Wonderland Week, when I launched the new brand, that I'm doing a virtual page prep rally on January 31st. I believe it's actually going to, it said 1 to 5, but I think I'm going to do 2 to 6 just to make sure, in case I can't get the day fully off, I'll be able to come home and be able to join you right at 2 o'clock. So it's 2 to 6 p.m. on January 31st, and it's going to be like a hands-on day. So I'm going to teach you some tips and tricks for putting some page kits together, which is basically just sets of materials that will allow you to kind of pull together a scrapbook page really quickly. And I'll show you some of my sample ones at the end of this as well. So be sure to stick around. But now let me show you this really super cute bundle, or it's actually a suite. It's called the Made with Love. I forget what it's called. So this is actually my first card class to go for January. It's a super quick turnaround because obviously I want you to be able to have these projects to be able to make them for February. So if you're a card maker, this might be the option for you. You get the kits, 2 of each for 4 designs to make at your house. You'll get 8 cards that you can make, plus a bonus design that I'm going to give to you as my thank you. So this is the kind of sweet collection. It's got the cute paper, the stamps, the dies. There's some cute little, what are they called? Little gusseted bags. Those are really cute. I love the embellishments. Look at how cute those are. So you've got some little letters, you've got lips, you've got hearts in a few different colors, all loose, so you can kind of make shaker cards, or you can use them as just individual embellishments. And then there's a really fun embossing folder as well. I love this one, and I'll show it to you in a second on a card. But that's really cute too. So that's the sweet, and then there's actually pink ribbon as well. Let me grab that too. So this is the pretty, I actually don't think it's pretty in pink. Is it pretty in pink? No, it's Bubble Bath faux linen ribbon. So that's all part of the suite. I don't use all of it in the cards. Let me show you your cards. So if you do the card class to go for January, you'll make 2 of each of these cards. So there's this one. I've already prepped that one for the most part. There's this one, which I've also already prepped. So like I said, it's going to be a quick turnaround. I'm going to ship these out on the 26th, I believe. This one could be a great wedding card as well. So that's one of the cards. And then there's a traditional Valentine's Day card. So you'll make 2 of each of those. And then this one is the thank you card, which I will make and finish for you and just include in your package. And you usually have a little pillow gift as well. So those are $49 for the kit. You get half a pack of paper, you get some linen thread, and you get the embellishments as well as the card kits and all the supplies to make those 8 cards. So let's go ahead and play with a little bit too, just to kind of show you. I feel like this one is a really fun set because yes, it's kind of designed for Valentine's Day, but you could use it for a variety of things if you pair it with other sentiments and things like that. Even like the today and always, that's always a good thing for any day, right? So I actually have some leftover pieces from when I designed before. So let's see what I've got. So I've got some extra little pieces. Let's do maybe this is Poppy Parade. I've got some junk on here, but I feel like we can cover that up pretty easily. Poppy Parade and Real Red, maybe. I think maybe I'll do something with that. So let's pick a pattern paper. Hi, Susan. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to do our Thursday throwdown, but again, make sure you stick around. I've got 2 things to show you at the end, so don't let me forget. All right, let's see. What do we want? I love this pattern. I think it's cute. And I don't think I used it on the other one. So let's go ahead and use this one. I'm going to use that as the background. And if you're new here, I tend to just design on the fly here. So we're just using some bits and pieces I have left on my table, or just things that come to my mind as I'm playing. And that's how we create our project. So I'm going to go ahead and put this here, I think. All right. And then I've been trying to be really good this year about doing the inserts as I go. So let's go ahead and do that. Is this big enough? It is. Okay. So 4 by 5 1/4. I've got an order ready to go because we had lots of new stuff launched last week, and I've got a few more things on my list that I want to get in my hands. And one of those things is our stamp and seal refills. They're not actually in stock. The full ones are in stock, so I might order a few of those. But I'm using my Tombow until that comes back. But I miss my stamp and seal. Mine is out, so we gotta use this. All right, so let me open this, maybe. Come on. What I love about this Tombow glue is that it is a little bit forgiving, so you can kind of reposition it for a minute or two. All right, so there's my inside, and then this is gonna go on top. Now this is a really bold pattern, so we're gonna wanna break this up a little bit with either, you know, maybe we take a little piece of the red, we could emboss that perhaps, and and do Happy Valentine's Day on that. What else do I have here? I also have this piece, which is a different embossing folder, which we could kind of break it up here. I feel like if I'm going to use an embossing folder though, I want that heart one, because that one's really, really cute. So let's see if I have a little piece of white that we can emboss. Hang on. Oh, and you know what else? So my husband actually got me a microphone, so I should have plugged it in over here, just because that way when I turn away from you, it will pick up my voice even when I'm not actually right in front of the phone. So I will have to get that into the works soon, because I know I tend to roam around a lot. All right, so let's go ahead and move this out of the way. I'm gonna get my big shot, or my cut emboss. Hang on. Hi, Jolene. I'm just gonna do this whole panel. I'm not sure how much of it I'm gonna want, so I'm gonna use the whole panel. So we're gonna just do, and actually I don't think I need this. I just need the embossing folder, the base plate, and the dark gray plate on top, because this is a 3D embossing folder, so we don't need any of the cutting plates or the adapter plate. So we're just going to use that, and that's going to give me that cute little pattern, right? Like I said, I don't think I'm going to need all of it, but this way I have some to use. So let's go ahead and get this stuff out of the way. All right, and then we'll go back to our card here. And I'm thinking maybe like, what is that, like 2.5, 3 inches maybe? Let's cut a little bit off. Probably about 2, I think actually even 2 inches will be enough. Just want a little bit to break that pattern up a little bit, like this. Okay. I do have this little guy left over, but I'm wondering if maybe, do I want to do like a big heart in pink for back here? That could be cute. But you know what? I'm gonna just, let's see here. Maybe even just doing a little piece of this. We'll break that up under here. No, it's not enough. I'm thinking, I do feel like I want something behind here, but the pink, they say it's bubble bath, but I don't know. It doesn't look right to me. So I think it looks too purple. Hold on. So that's my, well, I guess not. It looks okay. I don't know. The other day when I was using it, it looked too purple. I guess it's okay. Where's my, let's get my dies. And we're going to take this guy. I just want to break up that paper a little bit more. So we're going to go ahead and cut out this. I probably should leave my big shot over here, apparently. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Deb. Thanks for sharing, Debbie. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put this down here. Put this on top, and then I'm going to roll this through. Okay. And I'll show you. I just wanted something with a little substance to kind of take up some space on the card. So let's go ahead and do this. And we're going to keep this here, but we're going to stick this under here. Like that. Maybe make it straight. So you can still see it's a heart, but it's just going to take up a little bit of that space. All right, so next, I think, all right, let's just go ahead and commit. I'm going to go ahead and put this down. And we'll tape that down. I don't normally commit this soon, but we're going to do it. I'm on a time crunch here. I still got birthday wrapping to do. Like I said, my husband's birthday, his 50th, is this weekend on Sunday. So I just got his present in the mail, so I gotta get that wrapped before he gets home. And then I gotta pack, and I have a sales meeting actually at the tile store, so I gotta go do that. And I have some crafty stuff I wanna finish up, as well as pack, because I might do some crafty stuff at the timeshare. All right, so I'm gonna center this, okay. And then I think I'm actually going to grab the linen thread. I don't know why, I just like the linen thread with this. You could definitely use the pink ribbon too, but I don't know. I wanna do a little less pink. There's a lot of pink going on. So let's go ahead and take this. And I have no idea what I'm doing on the top of this, but we're gonna go ahead and tie some twine around here. Whoops. Come on. All right. And use these because they're closer. Okay. I'm gonna kind of die it off to the side here. And I like to tie a knot first and then a bow just for a little more stability. You could attach it to the card too before you tied the bow for even more stability. I'm going to trim these down a little bit. Okay. And that's going to get attached to the card like this. We could do dimensionals just because it's got a little bit of bulk, but I'm not going to, just because I want to put the sentiment or whatever other embellishments I'm going to add to this on with dimensionals. So let's go ahead and attach this. I'll just use a little extra adhesive and attach that in the middle. Okay. All right. Now we've got this happy Valentine's Day, or we've got the Valentines. I'm wondering if I can use this. So let me trim this down a little bit. And maybe we can use this. Okay. So there's that, and I'm thinking I would put it right over the twine just to kind of cover a little bit of that, maybe even move it over a little bit. And then we've got the happy and day in the stamp set. So let's see. Happy and day. And I'm wondering if maybe, will this kind of show under there, or would that not be big enough? Might be able to separate it. I might use this too. Hold on, let me grab a couple of blocks. Okay, so let's do happy and day. And the good thing is you want to pick up your stamps with your block, because that way it will stay straight and not get distorted. Let's go ahead, and I'm thinking, do I want to do that in red ink or black ink? Let's do red. Let's see. I'm going to stamp happy here right along the edge, so I just have to cut the top, and then we'll do day a little further apart. Sorry if it's off the page, I need to be able to see it. Okay, happy and day. And let's trim this down. Okay. And I don't know, maybe I want to do it on red, but we'll see. I think I'm going to just trim these on an angle. Happy? And then we can kind of attach that there, right? And this one we'll do down over here, like that, right? And then I was thinking we could put that XO maybe in red and kind of have that underneath. Let's see, XO, so we're doing tone on tone, like that. I don't know if there's dyes for these. Let's see. Is there dyes for that one? There is not. Well, could use those, but those are littler and I don't want to use those. So I'm gonna go ahead and fussy cut these because I want it to be cut out. I know, you guys don't love fussy cutting like I do, but I don't mind it. I'm gonna just kind of skim over the top here, I think. And then we'll go in here. How are we feeling about fussy cutting in 2026? Have our artists, have we changed our minds? I just love that it sometimes just gives you a more polished, finished look, I feel like. I will say it's getting harder to do it just because the glasses are just not as good as they used to be, or at least the eyes are not. Alright, we have that. I'm not going to get super finicky about it, but what I might do, because it's not quite as big as I want, so we're going to cheat. We're going to cut it right in the middle, and then I'm going to stick it kind of here, and then under here. Let's move it over a little bit. Like this. Let's see what that looks like before I commit. I don't know that I love that. Maybe it's too much difference. Maybe if we do it like that, just a little bit of space, that's better, I think. I'm not loving it. Sometimes it doesn't work. Let's try doing a little heart under here. I am going to do this just so we can use this as one piece because it'll make my life easier. So I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive here and attach the happy. I'm using Valentine's as my guide. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. Oops. And attach the day. And then we can figure out what's going underneath it. Just get that on there straight. Let that sit for a sec. And then we'll grab some dimensionals, which I have over here. And we're gonna go ahead and just add these, but I'm not gonna take them off yet. So this is where we're going with this, right? Now I cut this apart. I can't even really use it somewhere else, but let's just see. I could always do it again. Because we could just maybe... Nah. I don't think I want to do that. What if... I think... I'm almost out of red cardstock though, so now I can't really do that. What if we just... I feel like it needs some red under there. But I don't like... Is this the biggest I can do? Let's try the 2. Don't mind my punch. It's very well lived. Nope, 2 is too big. 1 and 3/4, perhaps. Alright, let's try this. I can just about sneak it out. A little squashed. But maybe something like that. Just to kind of give a little breaking up from the red. Or the white on the white. I don't know. Do I still like this maybe? Or what if we did it like this so it looks like it's a little... Sometimes it's just that one last little thing that just kind of messes with you, right? Like that. That's kind of cute. Is it too much white on white? I think that's cute, actually. I think I'm going to do that. Alright, so let's go ahead and get it so this is positioned the way I want it. I'm going to do some mini dimensionals. Here, here, and down at the bottom. And we're going to make it look like it's kind of tied into the twine like that. And then we're going to attach this over it. As far over as I can get it. Let me actually trim a little bit more off this. There. Alright. And then we'll add some bling, and I think that will break it up enough. Alright, so I don't want to cover too much of the heart. So we'll do that. Oh, and I probably should have put the edges along the top here because it's overlapping that twine, so it's going to pop up a little bit, but that's okay. Alright, so now let's add some little hearts or something in here. Let's do, I guess the light pink ones will work. Or, yeah, because there's white we don't want to do. We could do the red, but it's more of a muted red, so I think I'm going to do the white ones. Let's do one here, one here, one here. And I'm going to use my take your pick tool and pick up those pink ones, whoops, maybe, and drop those right onto my glue dot, or my glue, well, it's technically a glue dot, but not a traditional glue dot, you know what I mean, a dot of glue. We'll just push those down in there, and then one here. And that glue does dry clear, so that's good. You could go crazy and add a little more too if you wanted to. But I'm going to leave that there. Let's cover this so I don't have any accidents. And then I'm going to just take my Wink of Stella and add a little wink to the red. Gotta have some glitz and glamour. And then I think we're good. Ta-da! That took a little work, but we made it. We did it. Alright, so let me show you, as I was talking about earlier, so we've got the card class to go, which I showed you those cards, which is all this vibe, the reds and the whites and the pinks. I'll put the description, or the sign up for that in the description as well. And then my page prep rally at the end of the month is going to be like hands-on time to get stuff done. So what we intend to do is to have finished little page kits so that when you're ready to scrapbook, you can just grab one of these kits and you're going to have kind of what you need to finish a page in a few minutes, right? Because everything should be kind of already thought out. And I kind of go overboard with what I put in my kits because I like to have options because if I don't have options and then I don't have what I need to finish my page, then I don't get anywhere. So the goal is we're going to have photos. So this is Easter. So we'll have photos here. This is the actual egg hunt. So I kind of had a thought. I find that this process works better with like a few off photos. So like not like a whole trip. I mean, you could definitely do this for a trip too, but like if you have, you know, a few pictures from Easter, or maybe it's just a walk you took on the beach, or what else do I have over there? A graduation party, or you know, a girls' weekend or something like that, where there's just maybe 1 or 2 pages worth of pictures, not a whole book. That works better for me. So I'm going to pull these pictures. These are the pictures that the, like the big kids were hiding the eggs, and then the little kids were finding them. So that's kind of this page. And then I pulled in, I started with the base pages. So I've got 2 pieces of crumb cake, 2-tone cardstock. And then I pulled in some Easter pattern paper. And I know I tend to like to do symmetry, so I put 2 pieces of the pattern I think I'm going to use as the background, which is this. And then I have some coordinating paper that I can use as accent. And then if I don't use all of it, I can move it to my next one, which is also the same Easter. So like I'll kind of like work in packets, if that makes sense. And then I pulled in some cardstock that coordinates, so blue, white, shy shamrock, and then 1 piece of the crumb cake in case I needed that for photo mats or something like that. I pulled in some die cut pieces that were in my stash that matched. This also matches. It matches the pink, a little doily. I have some ephemera pieces that match. I will not use all of these, trust me, but I just kind of pulled anything I thought could be useful. I have Happy Easter in a couple of different ways. I have some journaling pieces here and here. I did go ahead and die cut Easter. And then I have the actual letters too, E-A-S-T-E-R, so I can do either the die cut, like this part, the negative, and I have the little piece for that, or I can do the positive of Easter. And then I did the year 2011 in blue and in brown, and then I have the negative in brown as well. I threw in some twine that would go with it. If I had like a stamp set or something that would work, then I might throw that in here, or at least make note of it on a post-it note and say, oh, when I pull this kit, you know, pull X stamp set. But I don't have a stamp set with this. I didn't get the stamps that goes with this Easter paper, so I'm just using this kind of basic stuff. And then I also put in a page map. So this is one I got from a crop. Those of you that go to Suling's Crops, you know that she always gives out these page layouts, and I keep them. So I use them for inspiration. But if you come to the page prep rally, I'm going to give you some new ones that are from me that I'm designing. You'll have a checklist for your page maps, or for your page kits, so you'll kind of not forget to put anything in there. And then this one is, and then we'll put the photos back in here. So everything should be in there, so I could actually complete a page with just my adhesive and my trimmer. And then the same thing here. So this is the other half of this. So I have a different, this is from Page Maps. I get their newsletter every month, and so I print out their little page maps, so that comes in handy too. But like I said, if you take the page prep rally, you're going to get some worksheets. You'll get some sketches to use, to print and use over and over again. You'll get a checklist for what to include in your page kits, all sorts of goodies. So it's going to be really fun, and it's going to give you the time to actually sit down and think this out and ask questions and kind of crowdsource what's the best way to put these together so that you have everything you need when you're ready to scrap. So this one, same thing. I picked some white for my base page. I always start with the photos, then I start with the base pages. So we've got white for the base. I've got a color coordinated 2-tone cardstock just for mats or whatever, that's pink. And then I have a couple of patterns, which again, I like to use the same, like I like a lot of symmetry. And then I liked those 2 together, so I'll probably use that. And then there's some like die cut elements, like 4x6 cards, some coordinating paper. I saw some stuff in here that kind of, this was in my stash, and like my niece gave me a flower for Easter that year, so I thought that might work well. And then I have some journaling blocks. I have a little bit of greenery here that was already cut out, and then I may use some of the white twine that was in the last one too. But I was kind of looking at which one of these was I looking at? Maybe like this one or this one, the one that has a couple of different photos. So I kind of liked these pictures, so that's the other thing you want to kind of think about too, is the stories you want to tell. So there is this part, which is just like the gifts. I'm her godmother, so she gave me the little flower. But I love these pictures. So there's this one where clearly somebody said something that offended both myself and my sister, probably my brother. And then they're playing games. So this one's not really as important unless I play, unless I do something about the game itself. But I think I might do something with facial expressions. So we've got this one, and we've got this one, we've got this one, and we've got that one. So clearly we have some facial issues in our family. So I might do a little layout about that. Or I might just focus on the game. I don't know. But that will give me some basic elements to work with. Again, if I had a stamp set that coordinated, I would put that in here too. But I'm going to just keep this one simple and use paper and cardstock and call that good, right? And we can always embellish too with like where it has those little embellishments like the die cuts, the greenery. So that's why I put some of that in there too. I usually will take my little bin of leftover stuff too when I'm going to a crop. So that way if I'm like, oh, I really need XYZ, I can usually make it happen from the leftover bin. So there's a couple of page kits just to kind of show you what we're doing at the page prep rally. And my goal is for everybody to walk away with at least 10 of those page kits finished so that you can, you know, go ahead and have a few minutes to scrap. You'll actually get something accomplished. So that's that. And then the last thing I wanted to show you is the virtual card retreat kit. So I just got mine. I haven't done anything with it yet. So let's pull it out here. Pull it out of the box. You guys can see this. You're going to make 15 cards with this kit. And like I said, they are not for the beginner. These are avid cards. They're going to teach you all sorts of different techniques. This is all of the cards. They're gorgeous. Gorgeous. These are definitely going to be A++ people that get these cards. You may even want to save them just for technique reference, but you get the little card that kind of tells you when the event is, how it's happening, which is in a Facebook group. And yes, there will be replays of this. So you can scan the code to get into the Facebook group once you get your kit, and then you'll be able to join to, they do verify that you actually bought the kit, so you won't be able to get in unless you have the kit. And then this is what you get. So there is some exclusive stuff in here. Like we're going to be using the flip-flaps for card elements. So some of the cards, when you open them inside, have flip-flap elements. So that's kind of cool. You get a full package of these Moody palette dots, which you can buy these yourself, but those are really pretty, and they're going to go perfectly with this. You have a couple of envelopes. Again, another 3x3. And then you get some exclusive stamp sets. Oh, more envelopes. Envelopes for all your cards, which I think are just kind of tucked in here. So you should have 15 envelopes. This is beautiful. And I actually think some of it's exclusive. Like this one is exclusive, which I love this. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm so excited about that. I love this stamp set. This is actually probably the reason why I bought it. A friend of mine showed this one to me and I was like, oh, I need that. I love the sentiments. I love those flowers. I love the border and this little background. So super fun. But then these I think are actually a sneak peek of upcoming product, but you'll get it early in the kit. These are all gorgeous. Super fun fonts. Love this. You get a full pack of basic white cardstock. Oh, more envelopes. Like I said, you make a lot of cards. And then you've got your die cut pieces here for stamping. So they're already die cut for you. You don't have to worry about stamping and die cutting. You've got all of those elements that are all ready for you. And then we've got this beautiful paper pack. What's in here? Let's take a look. Super excited to play with these. This will be the weekend I come back from skiing, so hopefully I'll have time to kind of play. But you've got one-sided paper, but it's got your little cutting guides and your project numbers. Super pretty. So obviously we're going to be doing some fun coloring, which I love. Everything has like marks on the back. So you can kind of see this is all exclusive paper. This is stuff that you can't buy elsewhere. These are going to be gorgeous cards, you guys. I am so excited to play, and it's just going to be so much fun. And then they've got this special paper that's two-tone with light and dark on one side instead of having front and back. And again, that's to help with you being able to know which project it goes to. So the back is not printed on purpose, so it can kind of assign the project to it. So now you've got the petal pink. That looks like Blackberry Bliss, Bubble Bath, Secret Sea, Cloud Cover, I think, Old Olive. So these are all what you're going to be using on these cards. Lemon Lime Twist and Crumb Cake. So lots of fun stuff to play with and some beautiful technique laden cards to create. So if you want to join us, again, it is $165 for this kit that includes the stamps and dies, 2 sets of stamps, 2 dies, all the papers, the die cut elements, the full pack of cardstock, your 15 envelopes, your embellishments, all the things. So, and I think this one is just the best part of all of it. I love this stamp set. So, you can go into the online store and grab the kit. It's 170023. Again, it's $165. And then you'll be able to download, join the group and then download the cutting instructions and all that kind of stuff. So super, super fun. And you'll be earning bonus days coupons on that. So we get $5 for every $50 we spend. It's $165. So that's $15 back you get to spend at a future date. So that is what I have to share with you. I hope you guys are having a fabulous day. I should be back with you next Tuesday. We should be back. I think we're coming home on Monday. So I will be back next Tuesday for some more crafty goodness. Thanks so much for joining me and have a great day. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.